Yesterday I talked briefly about what it was like being a young girl who was dating fully adult men. And it seems like there were a lot of us. And I think it's important that we talk about and share our experiences, not only so that the kids behind us don't make the same mistakes, because we all thought that we were being adult, right? We all thought that we were choosing that man, but also so that the misogynists, the men who don't understand what it's like to be a woman, can hear it from us. The ones who were growing up around us who didn't understand that that's what we were facing, they can understand. They want to know our stories, so let's tell them. I've touched briefly on, the men who pull you into their lap when you're 12, the men who want to throw you in the pool, just so they can touch your naked body, the men who catcall you when you walk down the street. But those are strangers. Those are strangers. Let's talk about the men in our lives. Let's talk about the men in our homes. Now, I have a family member who I'm estranged from, that's my choice, who low-key watches my TikToks and then gets offended and feels the need to message me that I'm lying or spinning things incorrectly. You're going to want to flip off now because you're not going to like this story. I think it was 13 the first time my stepdad and his friends, and to be fair, it was mostly his friends. My stepdad would laugh, but most often he didn't say anything, but he also didn't stop them. So I was 13 the first time I came upstairs and one of my stepdad's friends told me to release the prisoners, i.e. take off my bra. That was a constant mantra. They would get together, they would have drinks every week, and I would come upstairs, 13, 14, 15, release the prisoners, and they would all laugh. If I was wearing a skirt, nice pipes, nice pipes. And I was told that these were compliments. It was a compliment when a 40-year-old man told me to take off my bra at 13. It was a compliment when a 40-year-old man who was a friend of my father figure, who'd been my stepdad since I was 2, told me I had nice pipes. There was a race car next door, and in the shop it was full of naked women, fully splayed out, just there as tokens surrounding all the men as they talked about cars and sports and whose penis was larger. And I would be invited in. I would be invited in to hang out and look at the car because I liked cars. And to be honest, I liked men because that's what I was taught. And I would just stand in that shop surrounded by 45-year-old men making disgusting jokes and naked women. And it was all okay. I was spending time with my dad. So when the 20, 30, 40-year-old men hit on me, I knew the language. I knew the dance. I knew what to say. I was flattered. I thought that it meant that I was mature for my age. I was so grown up. I was special. I was so beautiful. These men, they wanted me because I was beautiful. How different my life would have been if my mom, that guy's wife, my stepdad, that guy, any of the people in that shop had seen me as a child, had seen me as somebody worthy of protection, instead of a sexual being trained to be a good wife, to be arm candy, to release the prisoners, to show off my pipes, to be exploited. Again, I thought all this was fine. I thought I was making choices. I thought I was in control. When I was 20 and my boyfriend was 40, I thought I chose him. Hang out with people your own age, my friends. Maybe a couple years older. If somebody is 15 years older than you, ask yourself, why aren't they dating someone their own age? Have a great day.